We are back, and there's Rhett in Buffalo. I'm still in Marteloup. Look at our special guests, Retro. Rhett, look at this. Hockey royalty.
How could you trade me to Duane? How could you trade me to Buffalo? What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, I knew you were going to go there and meet your wife.
See? Now, is that a thank you, Rhett, or what do we say about that?
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
I don't think coaches trade players, especially assistant coaches.
We sat down, and Duane said, I had to deal with Rhett, the rookie. So I think that's probably a good place to start. Duane, welcome to the studio. Why don't you tell us about our young, good-looking friend in Buffalo as a 18-year-old in the NHL?
He came in and wasn't very happy. He couldn't work his way into the lineup for whatever reason, probably because of the coaching. But and then I believe we let him go to play in the World Junior, didn't you, Rhett?
Yeah, I played 10 of the first 11 games, and then I hardly played at all, and then I went to World Juniors. Yeah.
And then come back, and it was onward and upward.
Just a cup final there in your first year, Rhett. No big deal, right?
It helped that Gordon Murphy broke his toe about 2 weeks to go in the season. That was my in to kind of get a chance.
Don't remember that. That's good.
So I guess the men that need no introduction will get an introduction. It's Duane Sutter in the nice buttoned-up collar shirt. Ron Sutter wearing the gear, the Origin gear. Fellas, what are you doing with Origin gear? This is kind of cool. Rhett's got. Are we all on the same team here?
Doug thought it was a business meeting today, but he didn't realize that we're actually doing a podcast.
Well,
until we're driving here.
It can be both. Now pull that mic a little closer to you, Ron, if you don't mind. The microphone just a little closer. There we are. So this is the beauty of our pals at Origin, right? We were out there, I believe, 2 Tuesdays ago for our beer launch. We've got the Barn Burner Blonde, which has just been getting wonderful reviews. People are loving it, enjoying the beer. But we're not the only bright people partnering up with people that make really good beer. And Sterling and Mark are here from Origin. Rhett, I want you to feast your eyes on this. This is the 6 Sutter Shooters. Hell of a label, hell of a beer, and they have partnered with Origin to make what Origin's good at, great beer. So, fellas, tell us how you got wound up with the fellas in Strathmore and to making your own beer. We thought it was a good idea, and great minds apparently think alike here.
It was a fellow that sells hops out of Innisfil hooked us up with the Sterling family, and we went out for a visit and realized we have a lot in common. 5-generation farming and want to help out the rural areas, and basically we have so much in common that we arrived at a beer that satisfied everybody, and we're really happy that it's out today.
Love it. Ronnie, have you tried the beer yet? What are you excited about this?
He shotgunned it.
Just bang, done.
I definitely give it a good belt back. No, it's a clean, clear, crisp, really nice finish to it. We did go out there last Tuesday Friday. We're out the last Friday.
You have enough of these. You'll forget what day of the week
we're
it
out
is.
there last Friday. Well, you know, when you're retired.
He didn't get home till Tuesday.
When you're semi-retired now, like I told my wife yesterday, I said, every day is the same day. So I don't even know what day it is.
It has a Y at the end, and we're having delicious beer.
So we were out there last Friday for the canning of it and to watch it get all done and with the production and it's quite the process and simple process, but there's a lot of work. I know it goes in behind the scenes to finish a beer the way you want it. And these guys have done an awesome job with it. It's
a lager. It's delicious. This is, I think, the best way to get people into craft beer. If you've only had macros and big brand beers, you're like, wow, this is actually better and amazing. And then you can sort of expand into the micro universe. But I'm excited to try it. I know people are quite impressed with it thus far, Sterling. Everyone's very happy. We were thrilled with the blonde that we've got. And look at this. We got another visitor here. It's another Sutter. So we have Ron and Duane in the studio, and now Rich checking in from the Windy City, Lethbridge, Alberta. Richie, how are you?
Good. I've just been sitting here listening to you guys, so all's good.
Have you got a shipment yet? Do you have a garage full of 6 Sutter Shooters beer?
Actually, I called Mark Hamilton yesterday looking for it. So
okay, checks in the mail, right, Mark? Now, listen, you don't mind, Rich, if we just leave a few flats here and we'll hold it in studio for you. You show up whenever you want.
Perfect.
Don't know how many there'll be, but
You'll take the empties back.
Yeah, you'll at least have the deposit from the empties at a minimum.
That'll work.
Fellas, this beer is not only a great beer, but there's a reason behind it. You guys and your 4 other brothers that aren't here at the moment, it's quite a number. You've been running the Sutter Fund for a long time. I know the annual golf tournament was a big deal. We used to come up and do shows from there at the old shop. And, you guys saw a need in Central Alberta where people needed help. You guys had the ability to raise some funds. And next thing you know, you'd built your own charitable cause. Tell us how the beer's involved with that, Duane.
Well, the fund goes back over 25 years, and we started Lethbridge, Red Deer, Viking tournament, golf tournaments to raise money. We moved it to Red Deer eventually. And over 25 years, we've raised well over $2 million to donate to smaller charities around Central and Alberta, or whoever came to us and wrote a letter to ask what they wanted for and all that. So it also goes back to the grassroots and trying to give to smaller communities and maybe not as often to the bigger charities like who do get a lot more help than the smaller ones.
So sort of there's a bit of a gap in people getting help. If there was associations or groups or parties that needed help, there was the Sutter Fund to help them if they'd maybe slid through the cracks, so to speak, in terms of getting some funding.
Exactly. And now through the sales here and the Origin, people can speak more on it, but a percentage of each 6-pack will be donated back to the Sutter Fund.
Okay, so here it is. If you want to get your paws on the beer, we'll get to the official technical stuff through it so that all the info's out there. We can make sure that everyone can enjoy the beer, but also help get some money raised to the Sutter Fund. The official launch of the 6 Sutter Shooters Lager. It is a 10% discount online. That's originbrewing.ca. Head there. Promo code runs till December 15th at midnight, fellows. So that means get online. If you wanted to partner up a 4-pack of tall blondes with a 6-pack of the 6 Sutter Shooters, that's a hell of a gift for someone under the tree. I'll tell you that.
It's a big stocking stuff.
I love that. The beers, as noted, the regular size can of 355 is not the tall boys. So 6 packs, and a portion of proceeds from every 6-pack will go toward the Sutter Benevolent Fund, helping raise money for local community initiatives. If you want to be one of the first to get your paws on this beer, let's do it. Head to originbrewing.ca, click shop in the top left corner, and they're going to do local delivery for only $5 every Thursday. If your order is $50 or more within 50 kilometers of Calgary and surrounding area, you can get your beer delivered right to you on Thursday. I love it. Origin offers national and international shipping as well. If you're far away and you're like, I want this on my mantle for a decade, this is a collector's item, you're probably right. They can do that as well too. And of course, if you're in Strathmore, Sterling, you got to stop in and say hello and grab some of the beer there. So I'm excited. We're raising funds. It's great beer. It's our pals at Origin. We want our guys to get it, but we got you in studio. We need some stories. So I'm going to show you a photo and I want you each to react. We'll start with oldest to youngest. So Duane, and then you twins will have to sort out who's older out of you. I don't know, but there's the picture. This was 2 nights ago, I believe, in Vancouver. Luke, Jack, and Quinn Hughes. 3 kids, same family, brothers, same game. What comes to mind for you, Duane?
Four of us, twins in Philadelphia, Brent and I with the Islanders playing head-to-head.
Okay, so do you remember what year and how that went? Because I imagine there would have been some build-up to that. And did you get a photo at center ice, or did it just sort of fly under the radar?
We got a dressing room photo. Obviously, we met in between. I didn't go in the flyer. They didn't come into ours. But
sure.
The twins might know the dates and the outcome of the game better.
I think it would have been in fall time of, it's got to be our first year, so probably 1985.
Okay.
And I'm thinking it's got to be October, November at the Spectrum. And I believe the Islanders spanked us that night 5-2 or something like that.
Richie, do you remember that one?
October of 82, Ronnie. Actually.
October of 82. Okay.
But yeah, no, I remember it. I remember someone asking, if you guys wanted to do a picture on the ice, and with the Islanders and Flyers rivalry and how well we were getting along at that time, we knew that wasn't not an option, because we knew we'd have at that point 34 teammates pissed off at us. So
I was just thinking, I know how your older brothers as coaches would have viewed a center ice photograph before the game. Ronnie, I don't know that would have gone over well with Brian or Daryl if they were the coaches.
We actually had one, you know, a few years later when I was playing in St. Louis, and Ronnie will remember this one because it's on hockey cards. I don't know if it was Peachy or whoever it was, but it was between morning skates, and Ryan and I had no problem doing it, but Grumpy Brian, he was out on the ice and get this effing pitcher over us, and Ronnie, you can get off the ice. You know, so that's kind of how we knew that was going to go. So we knew it was going to work with the Flyers and Islanders.
You sure it was 82? Were we not playing junior in 82?
You guys
with the Broncos?
It was the early 80s. Let's get along here. These twins are fighting. I got twins at home. I've seen this act.
Yeah.
First year pro. That's amazing. Now, okay, I did a little math here. For 24 years in a row in the NHL, there was a Sutter brother playing in the NHL. 24 consecutive years from 1976 to 2001. 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000. That's 4 decades of coverage. Approaching 5,000 collective games, just your brothers, never mind your kids. And you've all got great hockey playing kids. The next generation's got some hockey players as well. And I just wonder, did you take it for granted at the time? Did you always know it was something special? Because it's uncharted. It'll never happen again. It is absolutely a one-off thing, probably for any pro sport.
I don't think we took it for granted, knowing that every year there was younger guys coming in trying to knock you out of a job. So I don't think we ever took it for granted. We certainly enjoyed the ride, and we all had success in our own way.
Yeah.
I never really hit me until I think towards the end of the playing careers of the older brothers, when Brian got banged up pretty bad, and then Daryl had a bad injury, and then you realize, geez, you know, those guys may not play much longer. So I think that's the first time it hit me. And I think the first time when we played against Brent and Duane on with the Islanders and the Flyers, I never really noticed. I remember it was like partway through the shift, and it was towards the end of a shift, and I realized, holy shit, I'm out in the ice with 2 of my brothers, 3 of my brothers against 2 of them. So at the same time, so it was pretty cool. For a few seconds, it felt a little bit surreal, but I think after we did that a few times, it just wore off.
Is Gary's the older brother? Is that right? Have I got the name right?
Yes.
I think it's been said that he was a great hockey player as well, but he didn't have the older brother to follow in the footsteps. Am I right, or did I get the order wrong?
No, he was a good player, probably a little scrappier than the rest of us, and he played defense quite a bit. Okay. So he was the only one that was at that position.
Okay, so the only D man. That's lots of ice available on the old Viking farm if you can play D.
2 right wingers, 2 centers, 2 left wingers.
Wow, unreal.
You know what they say about the centers on hockey. Eh? They're like the quarterbacks on a football
Richie,
team.
they're not the smartest, are they, Richie?
No, they're like the QBs on a real good football team.
Why can I guess what position Ron plays? Why do I think I know what he played? So tell me about the fund, guys. How often do you get together? How do you come to decisions about distributing the money, and how good does it feel to give back to these communities and causes that might not otherwise get the financial attention that the Sutter Benevolent Fund can give it?
Good, Rich.
Oh, you guys answer that better than I would, tell you the truth.
Well, I think it's kind of a collaboration, and at least we try to make it a collaboration, determining who and where it goes. You receive so many letters, numerous phone calls. It's probably more so now than in the past. Everyone's always looking for some help. So I think the big thing is, at the end of the day, we really look at you look at the small communities, you look at family oriented, kids related, whether it's from registrations or uniforms or equipment, just providing to the kids who really can't afford to do it, and for families who can't afford to do it. And at the end of the day, Brett and Brian have always made that final decision, but it's always been discussed, and it's always goes to a well-needed and worthy cause.
What's Christmas like now? Because you would probably be, some of the brothers would be grandparents by now. Your kids are probably, a lot of them would be in their 20s and 30s. You guys obviously are still all brothers. You've got your own significant careers and job interests and little entrepreneurial things here and there. You got Richie joining us from Lethbridge. There's obviously a bit of a contingent in Edmonton and here in Calgary as well. Do you all find time to get together? Or is it almost too complicated now? Because there's probably like 50 of you when you include all your offspring.
more complicated than ever just because we're so spread out.
Yeah.
You know, the dynamic of having us all back in Alberta is cool. But at the same time, with their families growing, your own kids, everyone's got grandkids except for myself. So we are spread out all over, and our kids are, they got their own shit going on, their own gigs going on in different parts of the province, different parts of the country. So it seems like now the coolest time, the best time to get together is usually only for weddings or funerals.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It is.
That's the reality of it. And,
that's growing up, I think. Like
so,
you notice that it's like the only time we all get together. Gosh, like someone's either got to get married or die here, and I'm cheering for one more than the other.
So it's cool. It is a lot of fun when we get together. And what's so cool about it, Ryan, is that like our son Riley is the youngest of all the kids, and then Brian's son Sean's the oldest. And they are all tight.
Yeah.
Like I know they know more what's going on in their own worlds and probably our worlds than we do in theirs. So it's pretty cool that they all still stay in touch, or at least a lot of them still do, whether it's, social media days, a lot of them to do that. So I do know, like, I can share something with Riley and he'll go, "Oh geez, I knew that, Dad." So
talking to the cousins. Come on, Dad. I knew that.
So it's pretty cool. They're pretty tight.
They have a cousins chat.
I love it.
A chat group.
Yeah, how do you not? Yeah.
I don't know how it happened, but somehow I got on that, and I was the only one of all the.
So it was the cousins and one uncle,
and they allowed me to be on it for a while, and then I think some stuff started going down. Like they couldn't share with me, so I know it was one of my nephews said, "Okay, you're done. You're off."
Lost privileges. That's cool. Rich, does that make you proud? The next generation feels like the glue right now. That they're tighter than ever, or really keeping you guys tight in a way.
I think it's important, and it makes us proud to know that the kids get along and at least try and reach out and be there for each other in some way, shape, or form. I think it's important that that's what we were like. And today's world, it's obviously can be easier with social media, but in a lot of ways it can also be harder because everyone's got so much stuff going on. But they've done their best at it, and I'm proud of what they've been able to do. And I think it's important. I wouldn't say carry it on from what we've done, but it's just nice to see that they care about each other. They love each other. They know they can be there for each other. It's hard because they have all got little ones now, and it's not like you're always able to get together and see each other, but they do make a point at times, which I think is very awesome. And it's great for us to see that is happening.
So we got 3 together today. That's pretty good success rates. What are we going to get? Like 5, 6, 7 at a time somewhere in Strathmore? I feel like you said there's the weddings, the funerals, but what about like a beer lunch? I feel like we got a good chance of, if we got a Sutter beer going, to get more than half the brothers in the same room.
We should have a good chance to do that. It was a poor day for Brian. His annual cattle sale is tomorrow.
Okay.
And Saturday, so that wasn't working for him. And Daryl would have come down probably if Brett's injured right now. His son's injured, so
okay. And he's been checking out some of the games. I know people have been saying, "Oh, Daryl's checking out the Wranglers." He's always loved watching his son play, even though he traded him earlier.
Yeah, and Brent was in some Western League meetings, so
busy.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay, guys, do you want to crack a beer and give it a sip? Is it a work day? Are we allowed to do this? I feel like it's noon somewhere. It's cocktail hour somewhere.
I'd say go for it.
Yeah, I think let's do it here.
What about the lads over here?
The lads, you got a whole. Mark can hand those.
Where are we going with this?
Right, just look in the camera and have a sip there. We'll give this you'll. Anyway, I'm sure we're allowed to do this. It's YouTube. We're making up the rules as we go. That's a heck of a beer right there. Wow.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming in, fellas. Congrats on the beer. One more time, if you want to try the 6 Sutter Shooters Lager from Origin Brewing, you can head out to the easiest thing, go to the tap room if you're in Strathmore, but that's not necessarily where everyone's at. You might be in Calgary. You might be out of town. Go to the website, originbrewing.ca, with the promo code Sutter6. 10% off right through midnight on December 15th. A hell of a gift to put under the Christmas tree. You like that, Ronnie?
That's really good.
Well, you know what it is? It starts with Sterling's damn barley. If that damn barley wasn't so good, they wouldn't have to malt it. If that damn malt wasn't so good, they wouldn't have had to start a brewery.
Grassroots.
See what you've
awesome.
done here? It's great inputs. I mean, from the farm right to your glass. I love it. Great stuff. Again, that promo code is Sutter6. No hashtag. Just fire that in. That's good for 10% off. Sterling, I imagine you can mix and match with some other beers on that promo code as well. So you can get some Barn Burner Blondes, homegrown lager, whatever it is you like, add that to your delivery. And Thursdays, the delivery goes out $5 anywhere within 50K of Calgary if it's $50 or more. Originbrewing.ca, hit the shop button, top left corner. Good beer, good people, and this one supporting the great charity that is the Sutter Benevolent Fund. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. Richie, great to see you. Next time you're up in Calgary, we got to cheers one of these together.
Do lunch and a beer for sure, Ryan.
I love it.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
Awesome.
Duane, thanks for being here. Ronnie, great to see you as always. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with the rest of the show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.